Ho, ho, ho! Merry Christmas! It's the best time of the year.
Glad to see you're in the holly jolly spirit. Finally.
Well, it is December, so of course I'm in the spirit.
What about Hanukkah?
Well, it started on Sunday.
Yeah, so therefore it is not technically Christmas.
Are you getting back at me for the Thanksgiving Christmas debacle?
Maybe. How does it feel?
Like Santa stuffed a bunch of coal down my throat. Down my throat.
Welcome back to The Real Deal, Ball State's premier entertainment news show. I'm your wonderful host, Anastasia Scott.
And I'm your foil, Tyler Landis.
Happy holidays from The Real Deal.
It's our last episode of the season, so don't cry yet.
You're going to get a bundle of coal in your stocking if you don't stay tuned for our very first segment.
That's right. Here's Joel Riley talking about the possible return of Miley Cyrus. Joel?
Happy holidays, everyone. Question, you remember Miley Cyrus, right? People know her in many different ways. Some of us know her as her Disney alter ego, Hannah Montana. Some of us know her as the girl who released Party in the USA, the song that will most likely play at every wedding or social event. And some of us know her as the girl who came out of nowhere with a completely different personality. And yes, I'm talking about the era where she started getting into drugs, foam fingers, twerking, her Wrecking Ball music video, and her performance with Robin Thicke during the VMAs. After 2015, Miley kind of just vanished, and we really didn't hear any music from her, and fans were kind of curious to know what was next for her. Then 2017 comes around and she releases Malibu, along with a music video that shows her rather back to normal. She's running outside in the sun with on her island, living her best life with her dog, and she also released an album called Younger Now, but that underperformed due to the lack of hit power and songwriting and production lacking substance. Substance of music and originality, by the way, not drugs. Then she kind of took another break from music, and during that break, unfortunately, Miley and her partner Liam Hemsworth's house had burned down from the wildfires in California. But this past week, I saw a music video featuring Miley for a song called Nothing Breaks Like a Heart by Mark Ronson, the man who collaborated with Bruno Mars for the hit single Uptown Funk. This music video shows Miley driving in a car on a highway being chased down police, while powerful scenes and hidden messages are shown throughout. Some of the scenes include priests being in a club, which is reference to the church not practicing what they preach. There are numerous scenes of people holding up signs and getting tattoos that say Miley's name, which is a reference to people being such big fans or stans of a celebrity that they will do everything that they can to get the celebrity's attention while not paying attention to themselves. There's a scene where two girls are taking selfies on their phone and a car literally crashes through a building, but they don't even notice, which tells us about how we're all glued to our phones and ignore what's happening around us. The most talked about scene for some reason is a scene where she crawls to the back of the car while it is still moving and she shows her butt on purpose. Some people think that that is a reference to her questioning what is and isn't provocative and could be referencing back to her crazy era. There's a scene where Miley includes the LGBTQ+ community and makes religious references about how we worship celebrities now as a new religion. And to top it all off, two of the biggest references she makes, there are football players that she drives by who are kneeling. This references Colin Kaepernick, who kneeled during the national anthem. And there are multiple scenes where you can see kids messing around with bullets and shooting guns at a shooting range. Obviously a reference to the shootings that have recently occurred and have been occurring for quite a while. But those are just a few references. I recommend watching the music video due to the other references that I didn't talk about or possibly missed. So what does this mean, possibly? Miley Cyrus is coming back? Maybe. But is she coming back as someone who wants to promote powerful and purposeful messages to the world? Or is she going back to the crazy era that her fans actually kind of want again because her music at that point was well received? I have no idea what she will do. Even though it sounds like I did just do a full research project on her just now, I've never been the biggest fan of her. I like some of her music, but I never really paid much attention to her. So whatever she chooses, I hope it's best for her and her fans. I do, however, give this video a 10 out of 10 for its powerful messages and the risks Miley and Mark Ronson took for this. Go check out the music video for yourself. It's definitely worth the watch. Until then, I'm Joel Riley. I hope you enjoy and stay safe during the holidays, and I'll see you next time. Back to you guys.
Thanks, Joel, for that amiable segment.
So, I managed to become the talk of the town this week.
Please tell me this is different from the Bigfoot incident.
Well...
So, were you the one in the gorilla costume?
No, I wasn't the gorilla. It's like that SpongeBob episode.
Oh, so you were the one in the sea bear costume?
Yeah. You know, sometimes it'd be like that.
Well, when you're right, you're right. I think Nathan is going to be talking about something like that. Take it away, Nathan.
Out of all things you can make a Christmas movie out of, the filmmakers behind Pottersville decided to round up a pretty talented cast, including names such as Michael Shannon, Judy Greer, Ian McShane, Christina Hendricks, Ron Perlman, and Tom Lennon, and they decided, let's make a Christmas movie about Bigfoot. Now look, money's money, so I know these actors have to make a living somehow. But you would think these fairly popular actors would be too busy doing, actually something good of quality. Pottersville follows Michael Shannon as a man who, after discovering his wife is a furry and cheating on him with another furry, gets drunk and dresses up in a gorilla costume and runs around town growling, and wakes up the next morning to realize that he has been mistaken for Bigfoot. They bring some TV monster hunter guy played by Tom Lennon, and mayhem ensues. Now I know that I usually review good movies on the show, but for once I'm reviewing something that I didn't like. And honestly, with Christmas being easily my favorite time of the year, it's kind of hard for me to hate a Christmas movie. Heck, I found some enjoyment in Christmas with the Cranks. Yeah. But the thing about making a Christmas movie is that you have to make it feel like a Christmas movie, but don't make it completely about Christmas either. The thing about Pottersville is that it was advertised as a Christmas movie. The poster definitely seems to be advertising a Christmas movie, but really Christmas has very little to do with this movie. The only reason it is set on Christmas is so that they can make a reference to an actually good Christmas movie like It's a Wonderful Life. Everything about this movie pretty much sucks. It's pretty much the worst and most embarrassing thing any of these actors have been attached to. Even Ron Perlman, who is an extremely talented and charismatic actor, and he killed it as Hellboy. But then he constantly attaches himself to films like The Steam Engines of Oz, Howard Lovecraft and the Undersea Kingdom, Frogs for Snakes, and Primal Force. And now, Pottersville. Tom Lennon, Ian McShane, and Christina Hendricks also gave their worst performances of their career. The two good things to come out of this movie are Michael Shannon and Judy Greer's performances, but even they aren't giving it their all. The film also has no sense of style. For one scene, it feels like it's trying to be a Wes Anderson movie. The next, it feels like a comedy that should be co-starring Rob Schneider and George Lopez, and was directed by Roger Gosnell, and went straight to stream on Crackle. Look, its heart is in the right place, but the film feels extremely problematic, and every single character in this movie, including our lead characters, are dumb as a brick. Should you watch Pottersville? The answer is no. You shouldn't, because it's bad. It's really bad. It's one of the poorest excuses I've ever seen for a Christmas movie. I thought maybe it would be laughably bad, but no, it's just plain bad. This feels like a rejected Hallmark Channel movie. I'm giving this movie 1 star and a lump of coal. That's it for me. I'm Nate Richard, and have a Merry Christmas.
Thank you, Nathan, for another passionate review about me.
Wait, another review?
Yes, he talked about me being a beautiful boy.
I think you forgot what that movie was about. So while I remind Tyler about the movie, we'll go to break.
Queen Elizabeth, your cousin Mary has returned to take up her throne in Scotland.
The Queen!
My dear cousin Elizabeth, I hope we might meet in person, that I might embrace you. But ruling side by side, we must do so in harmony, not through a treaty drafted by men lesser than ourselves.
My dear cousin, let our nations cherish each other as we would, 2 kingdoms united.
People have been trying to take me down for years. But I won't stay down.
Celeste, come on. Everybody's downstairs.
Did you see? He's gained some weight and he's got the sparkle back in his eyes. He's clearly doing better.
So then why are you hiding everything?
We said we weren't going to do this again, remember?
I agree. And if it weren't Christmas, you get a day. This time tomorrow, you are back in sober living.
Yeah, okay.
You do not leave my sight ever. Because for the next 24 hours, you are mine, all mine. Got it?
I got it.
Hey, Burns! I thought you were dead. Holy fuck! Oh my god! I put my...
You're right. Beautiful boy. It's not about me.
Anyways, did you get your advent calendar yet, Tyler?
No. But I got a holiday calendar, and I think it predicts the future.
Did it predict that our executive producer would be talking about a movie just like this situation?
You know, I think it did just that. Let's thank our Lord and EP Angelo for the futuristic segment.
Wait, what? He hasn't even started his segment yet.
I know. I just gazed into the future. All right, no big deal.
Okay, Angelo?
Netflix gets a lot of love, and you know what? It's warranted. They are a company that has saved series like Arrested Development and brought to life instant classics such as BoJack Horseman, Glow, Unbreakable Kimmy Schmidt, Stranger Things, Insatiable, Iron Fist, Between, Disjointed, Friends from College, Girl Boss, Flaked, The Good Cop, and everyone's favorite, Kiss Me First. But here's the thing, you guys. For every Girl Boss and Flaked that Netflix puts out to overwhelming praise and adoration, the company has been known to misstep. It is a company that desperately wants to appeal to the broadest audience imaginable, and thus is known to alienate most people with specific interests by at times creating the most unoffensive, white bread content you could possibly think of. If you're having a hard time wrapping your head around this, there are no two greater examples than their worshiping of Adam Sandler and their complete annihilation of the holiday season. Netflix's original holiday content is a sight to behold. It is the love child between the Challenger explosion and the Hindenburg disaster wearing a turtleneck holiday sweater. And the thing is, Netflix mass produces these things, all indistinguishable from the other ones, with bare bones plot structures that involve cheesy, expository dialogue and mind-numbingly predictable and uninspired plots. Having heard of Netflix's past holiday films like A Christmas Prince and A Christmas Prince 2, I felt the need to dive into a similar film that was new that I hadn't yet heard of, A Holiday Calendar. Now, my stance on a holiday calendar is admittedly pretty difficult to put into words. It is bad. The story follows a woman named Abby, as in Downton, Perry, or Kadabi, who inherits a holiday calendar from her grandfather. Well, long story short, the calendar turns out to be magic, and it spews out a different toy every day that predicts, some event that'll unfold in Abby's life. The huge. And boy, I tell you, Abby needs all the luck she can get. She is a photographer, and in case you forget, she takes a close-up photo of just about everyone she interacts with. She works at a JCPenney knockoff taking portrait pictures and states multiple times how much she's struggling financially. And you know what? I'll give the movie credit. That makes sense. That makes sense. I looked up the average salary of JCPenney photographers. It's about $19,000 a year. And this woman lives in a $1 billion bachelorette pad. Netflix, do you have no idea how the common American lives? Okay? Look down from your ivory tower on the rest of us. My lunch today was a bag of old Wheat Thins. Okay? I bathe using only wet wipes. And every scene, you guys, they are constantly scared of you forgetting each character, and that makes sense because they're all lifeless mannequins. I mean, every time people interact, it's like, hello, daughter, I have missed you. I have been working hard at my law firm being a lawyer, as well as your father. Or hey, friend, man, have we known each other forever. Childhood best friends, you and I are. It's all spoon-fed to you, and I guess it succeeds in what it's trying to do because any non-concussed child or adult could probably understand it, but it just doesn't work as a film that you have to sit down and focus on. It's written as if it wasn't meant to be seen in a single viewing, as Netflix probably understands that you're just going to get up or view it in multiple sittings, or leave the room to grab a sandwich during the 18th godforsaken date between that Benedict Cumberbatch wannabe doctor guy. Speaking of which, what was the point of that guy even in the movie? That guy disappeared halfway through so she could fall in love with her best friend? The best friend who has an unrequited love for her throughout the film, even though, she doesn't give him the time of day, who is a freelance photographer that turns out to be a secret millionaire at the end and buys her the studio building of her dreams. The friend who she says, "I love you" to right after he buys her that building. Oh yeah, that totally wasn't connected. Money can't buy love, people, but it can buy buildings. And Abby loves buildings. Also, how come in one scene it showed Abby scrolling through Netflix? Netflix, you don't need to advertise for me. I'm already here. Daredevil died for this. Okay. In conclusion, the holiday calendar is to film as Totino's is to pizza. It's disappointing, it is a lesser product than its peers, and afterwards you're going to spend a lot of the time on the toilet. With that said, I'm Angelo Oriema. Every day is pain. Happy holidays, ladies and gentlemen.
Good to see you doing segments again, Angelo.
Wait, Angelo used to do segments?
Oh my goodness. You would have known if you were here last year.
I'm sorry, but I'm here now, and I'm really glad to be here with all of you.
Oh my God. I think I'm gonna cry.
Now you're in the Christmas spirit.
I'm glad we got over this little feud.
Me too, unlike Nine Inch Nails and a certain politician.
This is true. Liz is here to talk about that feud. Liz?
During a concert in Dallas, Texas late last week, Nine Inch Nails' Trent Reznor took some time in between sets to make some comments about a certain politician. A video leaked onto Reddit during the concert caught Reznor claiming that Ted Cruz, the Texas native U.S. senator, had asked to be put on the concert's guest list for free. Reznor replied with "F off." Additional video was also released of Reznor asking for the lights to be turned up during the gig so he could see, by a show of hands, who had voted for Senator Cruz. What's the reason for this seemingly strange, out-of-nowhere hostility? Reznor allegedly had a past with him saying, quote, "We put him on the guest list a few years ago. He drank all of the beer and was just a pain to be around." Since then, Senator Cruz has replied to the public diss by taking to Twitter. He tweeted, "To all the gullible reporters who are reporting that I asked to be on the guest list at a Nine Inch Nails concert, no, Nine Inch Nails is not my taste in music." He was clearly joking, and for the record, I didn't drink all the beer the last time. But I would have, #fake news. That's all for Liz Safchuk. Have a happy holidays.
Thank you, Liz, for that segment.
Sadly, we are halfway through our mid-season finale, but you better not cry.
You better not pout. I'm telling you why.
Rental Breakdown's coming to town. Hoo-hoo!
This week on Rental Breakdown, Rob White, Matthew Simmons, and Sierra Lewis will be joining Logan Lewis on his show.
His show.
His show.
This week we are tackling the movie Elves. It's not the movie Elf.
Which I was mistaken.
Yeah, it's not Will Ferrell's Elf, is it? It's not that movie, is it, Sierra?
Unfortunately.
It's not. It's elves, plural. You got ground nutmeg.
Hey,
what? That's it. And I got everyone's spoon.
I don't want to say what the thing is. It might be a buzzword or whatever.
I mean, you're gonna have to say it.
It's an elf.
Hey,
elf.
buzzword! Bottoms up. Bottoms up. I don't want to do it. I don't want to do it.
He put that on the roof of his mouth.
I don't want to do it.
That was gross.
Welcome back. Let's get back into the swing of things.
So I'll be your typical mean girl.
Bring it on.
You're not even legally blonde.
13 going on 30.
That didn't work.
Thought you could trick me into admitting that I'm not actually blonde.
Anyway, so you know what all of these things have in common?
No. Oh, I thought we were just spouting random things.
Nope. Thank you next.
Rude.
While we let Tyler be confused, here is Abby with her video segment. Abby?
My girl Ariana dropped her Thank You Next music video on Friday. I expected something great as this song was a big one for her. She has been leaking small hints and behind-the-scenes footage for a few weeks, and it finally all came to fruition. This video combined 4 great movies: Mean Girls, Legally Blonde, 13 Going on 30, and Bring It On. The original, obviously, because it's the best. Each movie has a love story that she tied into the video, applying that each male character was an ex that she was grateful for. First off, she tied the movie together very well. The scene she chose from 13 Going on 30 was the perfect tie into the bridge. That one was probably my favorite part. I felt the emotion that Ariana has had through everything, and it was through a remade movie scene. Second, she had some icons in this. Some of the original cast members of the movies, including Jonathan Chipolone and Jennifer Coolidge. It also had several other famous people, including Colleen Ballinger, Troye Sivan, Kris Jenner, and my favorite addition, which included 2 former castmates from Victorious, Matt Bennett and Liz Gillies. 2 elements outside of music was the beginning, when several cast members explained times Ariana did things, which mimicked the iconic scene from Mean Girls when everyone talks about Regina George. She also had a dialogue scene with Jennifer Coolidge, mimicking the equally iconic scene from Legally Blonde that led to Bend and Snap. These were all creative decisions that I loved. There were obviously some things that I didn't like as much, which included some of the lip syncing not completely lining up. That just bothers me in general with any music video. And she didn't choose the best scene from Bring It On. We all know that the jazz hands dance is better than the football game scene. Come on, people. Aside from my opinions, I was really happy for Ariana and the success of this video. Distractify reports that this video reached 1 million likes in 35 minutes, which is the fastest video in history to do so. I think after her year of tragedy and lost love, she deserves a work of true success. She has worked so hard to get to where she is, at such a young age, and her strength shows every day. I think everyone should give the video a watch. If you want more holiday spirit, she has the Christmas dance scene from Mean Girls. That's all I have for you today. I'm Abby Perry, wishing you a happy holiday season.
Thank you, Abby, for your developmental review. It all makes sense now.
Took you long enough.
Don't make me go Samurai Jack on you.
You know what else involves samurais? Andre's review.
That's right. Here is Andre with his Reliscure review. Take it away, Andre.
Thanks, Tyler. This week I got another relevant and obscure review for you guys. In the spirit of the holidays, I'm reviewing Widows and Seven Samurai. Yeah, I know what you're thinking. Those movies don't have any holiday cheer, meaning of Christmas, and there's no prominent white comedian. Yes, I know. But I really want to talk about these movies, and also really want to wear the Santa onesie and this leopard print Santa hat. So for my relevant title this week, I'm taking a look into Widows. Widows has been out in theaters for a couple of weeks now, and it's gotten its fair share of buzz with a superstar cast including Viola Davis, Liam Neeson, and it was directed by the same man who brought you 12 Years a Slave. Widows is about a group of women that are backed against their husband's criminal past and the corrupt world of Chicago politics. The biggest problem with Widows is that it was marketed as a heist film, when it's so much more than that. What interests me the most about this film, though, is its commentary and relationship to the setting of the film. The 3 women leads of this film represent the 3 most prominent minority groups in Chicago. Veronica is black, Linda's a Latin American, and Alice is Polish. When you take a step back and look at the bigger picture, Widows is about the lives of minorities in the Chicago world dealing with crime, gang culture, and political corruption. These are all themes in the movie that the main characters have to overcome and deal with that are relevant in Chicago nowadays. There are at least 70 active and inactive gangs in Chicago, and a 2018 University of Illinois Chicago study said that Chicago was the most corrupt city in the country. So these themes are all relevant, and when you look at the bigger picture and you watch Widows as a commentary on its setting, in time and place, it becomes so much more than just a heist film. For my obscure review, we're going to take a quick glimpse into Seven Samurai. If you're a film history nerd, you might have been offended at the mention of Seven Samurai as an obscure film. Seven Samurai, directed by Akira Kurosawa, is often considered as the masterpiece of Japanese cinema. Despite the occasional slow pacing, Seven Samurai is a great movie in many ways. But what stood out to me was its message in the broader historical context this film was produced. A central takeaway from Seven Samurai is that the common man suffers the harshest toll from war. But when you look at that idea in the bigger picture, you appreciate the movie so much more. This movie was created in the 1950s, not long at all after World War II. After World War II, the common man suffered the greatest consequence of the war in Japan, especially those with ties to Hiroshima and Nagasaki. Looking at it from that perspective, Seven Samurai is much more than just a commentary on feudal Japan. And I know, it's hard to take someone serious who's talking about the dark side of Chicago politics and the atom bomb while wearing a Santa onesie and a leopard print Santa hat. So go on and watch Widows and Seven Samurai for yourself, and try to think about those films in a broader context. In my defense, I really wanted to talk about those films, and also really wanted to wear this onesie, because this is the only time of year I get to. This has been Andre with another Reliscue review. Back to you guys.
Thanks, Andre, for that Segoy review.
Sadly, that is the end of our reviews from our segment producers and executive producer for this half of the season.
But we still have our final words.
Stay tuned after this break.
No. Were you poisoned? No. Cursed? No. Kidnapped or enslaved? No. Are you guys okay? Should I call the police?
Do people assume all your problems got solved because a big, strong man showed up?
Yes. What is up with that?
She is a princess.
Max, you know the rules. You sleep in your bed, and I sleep in. Max, did you teach him puppy eyes? Fine.
Round after round, you learn more about yourself. And when I stepped in that ring, it wasn't all about me.
Christmas, what a wonderful time of the year, with too many awful movies to count. No other holiday has as many TV movies based solely around it, and most of the time, they aren't great. There are a handful that are amazing. I mean, the Santa Claus movies, A Christmas Story, Night Before Christmas, which, is debatable. The Grinch with Jim Carrey, not the new one. But for the most part, they're not great. So when I saw that Netflix was advertising their new original movie, The Princess Switch, I did not have high hopes. The Princess Switch follows Stacy, played by everyone's favorite high school singer, Vanessa Hudgens. She owns a bakery in Chicago, and she's still getting over her last breakup with a longtime boyfriend, and Christmas is coming, and with it memories of their relationship. As a way to cheer her up, her sous chef, Kevin, and his daughter, Olivia, enter Stacy into a world-renowned baking competition in this made-up country, Belgravia, and she's invited to participate. Once she gets there, Stacy runs into Lady Margaret, the Duchess of another made-up country, who is supposed to marry the Prince of Belgravia. As it turns out, Margaret and Stacy are doppelgangers. Margaret asks Stacy as a favor if they could switch places in order for her to understand what it is to be normal. Stacy agrees and they switch places, and surprise, surprise, there's romance and Christmas. Now, if you know anything about romance Christmas movies, you know what's going to happen, but I won't spoil it because I'm a nice person and I hate spoilers. But if you have a guess from that little description, then you know what's going to happen. The movie is super predictable, not really original. I mean, it's pretty much just Princess and the Pauper, but with Christmas and baking. It's really cheesy and romantic and silly, but hey, it's fun. If you love the Hallmark movies, then you'll love it. But as someone who does not like those kinds of movies, did I love it? No. Did I hate it? No. Would I watch it again? No. But I'd give it a 5 out of 10. It's super mediocre, not anything extraordinary, but hey, if you want to mindlessly watch a Christmas rom-com, watch Princess Switch on Netflix. Next, we have Tyler with a slew of Christmas movies that are actually good. Tyler?
Meh.
It's the holiday season, and it's also the last time I'll see you guys in 2018. Meaning, this is the last chance I have to do the fangirl I've always wanted to do. Rob White, ladies and gentlemen. Oh, my sweet, buttery, hot goodness, where do I begin with this man? The legend himself, 5-time Grammy Award-winning celebrity, Rob White. Now, I've had the pleasure of meeting this man on more than one occasion, and let me tell you that each time, it's been an absolutely breathtaking experience. Look, I've been stalking Rob for about 5 years now, and let me tell you, he has a... What? Oh, okay, I'm getting word. I'm getting word that Rob White is too much of an icon for his glory to be said at this time. Perhaps I'll get my chance one day. But in the meantime, I'll turn my fangirl radar to something different. Something festive, something fun, something snowy. Christmas movies. Now it's December, so of course, if you turn on a television, you are sure to be bombarded with Christmas movies. Whether they be Hallmark Channel cringe fests or classics such as The Grinch, they are sure to capture the holiday season, put it in a box, and stick a bow on it. Unless, of course, you're watching the Harry Potter franchise, which for some reason is counted as a Christmas saga. I don't know why. I love the movies, just don't know why they're Christmas movies. Anyway, moving on. Christmas movies are about heart, soul, and at the end of the day, Christmas itself. Everyone has their favorite and least favorite. Now, I've never been a big fan of A Christmas Carol, especially the one with Jim Carrey. Now, I love Jim Carrey, obviously, I did a fangirl about him, but the dark themes and images just rub me the wrong way and don't get me in a holly jolly mood. Now, I know these movies are special, have special places in people's hearts, like my mother, for instance. Maybe that's why I don't like them. Maybe she overplayed them in the household when I was young. Anyway, whatever the feeling towards this movie, there is no doubt that it is a Christmas classic. Another classic is a little film called Elf. Now, personally, this is my favorite Christmas movie of all time. I mean, I don't even really have to explain why. Anyone who's seen this thing knows why it has cemented itself as being one of the greatest Christmas movies ever created. From Will Ferrell's over-the-top performance to the story of a man raised by elves looking for his real father, to the fact that it was directed by Jon Favreau. I mean, I love his directing, so it could just be, me in that boat, but whatever. The next little slice of Christmas magic is a movie that not everyone likes, but if you haven't watched it a million times, then you're lying. I'm talking, of course, about A Christmas Story, the movie that plays all day on Christmas, the movie we all grew up watching. This movie is Christmas itself. From the fragile leg lamp to the delicious taste of soap, all the way to the age-old thought of what happens if you stick your tongue to a frozen pole. It sticks. That was the answer. Yeah. An icon of Christmas movies, just like how Rob White is an icon of the real deal. Sorry, I got caught up on Rob again, my bad. Christmas movies always get me into the holiday spirit, and if you need a good movie to sink into before the year is up, then have I got the list for you. The last list for the semester. Ladies and gentlemen, my Christmas movie list. Elf, A Christmas Carol, Gremlins, The Nightmare Before Christmas, Planes, Trains, and Automobiles, A Christmas Story, Love Actually, A Charlie Brown Christmas, The Polar Express, National Lampoon's Christmas Vacation, Home Alone 1 and 2, White Christmas, Miracle on 34th Street, Arthur Christmas, Die Hard, all the Harry Potter movies, including Sorcerer's Stone, Chamber of Secrets, The Prisoner of Azkaban, The Goblet of Fire, Order of the Phoenix, Half-Blood Prince, Deathly Hallows, Part 1 and 2, The Santa Claus 1, 2, and 3, Jingle All the Way, Rudolph the Red-Nosed Reindeer, Bad Santa, just the first one though, yeah. Frosty the Snowman, Batman Returns, that's the one with Danny DeVito, Babes in Toyland, Jack Frost, The Year Without a Santa Claus, and Elves. Now, there are thousands of other movies out there, but that's just a few of them. I hope you all have a wonderful rest of the year and have a happy Hanukkah and winter solstice.
And that's all from us at this half of the season. Congrats to our graduating seniors.
We'll be back in January, but until then, check out our Facebook, Twitter, and website for all things entertainment here at The Real Deal. I'm your host, Tyler Landis.
And I'm Anastasia Scott. Enjoy the holidays and the new year. See you next year on The Real Deal.
Bye.
Bye.